For weeks in 2020, people rallied in Austin streets concerned about police violence. During those protests, some officers fired less lethal rounds at protesters, leaving them bruised and bloodied. Grand juries ended up bringing criminal charges against 21 police officers, and this week, the district attorney announced the city is dropping the indictments for all but 4 officers, partially in exchange for a request for the Department of Justice to look into Austin Police's actions during the protests. I got the chance to sit down with Austin's mayor today to discuss why the city made the deal and the work to improve relations between the city and police. Here's a part of that conversation. So first I want to start with this. An attorney with the people who were hurt in 2020, he said this, quote, "Our clients feel that if there is systemic change brought about, that's more important than any individual officer being criminally punished." What does systemic change look like for you within the police department to ensure that something in 2020 doesn't happen again?
Sure. Well, a couple of things have already happened that I think make a difference. One is the system no longer allows for the use of the so-called non-lethal beanbag weapons in a congregate type situation where you have a group of people in group settings. That's a big difference. Another systemic difference that we already have in place is that you have these mobile field units where you move around and how they're supposed to be responsive and how the executives address what they're supposed to do. There's been a change. And the third thing I would say is there's also been a change with regard to the deployment of different groups when you have a crowd type situation and you're addressing that. What's the tactical approach that different groups might have, and they might not be on the same, they weren't probably on the same page. And so what we're now doing is making sure that the training goes across the different groups or entities that will be deployed. We want transparency. And that's also, I think, part of a systemic approach, is to make sure there's transparency. And that's one of the reasons that we were agreeing to ask the Department of Justice to come in and look at this specific event. Part of the reason that I'm pleased to see the dismissals, I mean, there were several months of discussions about those dismissals. Part of the reason that I'm pleased to see that is I also wanted to change the way the relationship and the perceived relationship between City Hall and our police officers. That was a broken relationship when I came into office. It's still not fixed, and I'm working to try to do that, working with the city manager, Jesus Garza, the interim assistant city manager, Bruce Mills, who's a former acting chief of police for Austin, and our city attorney, Ann Morgan. They did great work on this, but it's part to show that we do have the backs of our police and will continue to do that.
And you addressed that in the Watson Wire, just
Yes.
that fractured relationship. What else do you think that can be done within the next 6 months or a year to really mend those?
That's the right question. And what I'm going to say to that is 2 things. One, generally, the general is to continue to do the kind of work we're trying to do where we show that we support our police officers, like bringing forward that ordinance that I was talking about. But the other thing is, I think that ultimately the best way for us to get more police officers ultimately, and the best way for us to show our support for the police is if we can get to a contract. And prior, until recently, it was difficult to talk with the head of the police union with regard to a police contract. The union has elected a new president. He, I think, doesn't officially take office until January, but he and I have already had a number of conversations. He is very clear about what he thinks we ought to be looking at and how we ought to go about it. And I have hope in that regard.